First of all, let me say that Governor Baker and Secretary J. Ash have absolutely been fantastic partners with myself here in the city of Springfield and surrounding areas in the Commonwealth, and I deeply appreciate that. They're not only a phone call away, they're literally here many, many a times, and they've been vital in partnerships, public-private partnerships in economic development and housing, job creation, so they've done an outstanding job, and I look forward to continuing to partner with them. I'm here with Mr. Brodsky, who related Beal, and I really deeply appreciate their huge investment they're making here to not only stabilize Chestnut Towers, but move it forward pertaining to affordable and workforce housing with the amenities, and partnering with our brave and dedicated men and women in blue, the substation that we have down here, public-private partnership, and I want to thank Captain Huffnagel and his team that are here. So who says that bipartisanship is dead? It's alive and well here in the city of Springfield and with the Baker administration. With that, the star of the show, I don't know, Mr. Brodsky, if you want to say something first, or we're going to have the star of the show
I think everyone's waiting for
Yeah.
a big announcement.
Yeah, so without further ado, put your hands together for our friend, Secretary J. Ash.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're all.
It's great to be here with everyone. Again, my apologies for being late. We are working on an economic development bill in the legislature right now, and that's why none of the Springfield delegation can be here. So while I'm here talking about the next of many things, Mayor, that you're accomplishing here in the downtown and throughout Springfield, your legislators are back in Boston right now, making sure that I have the resources for the next grant and the next grant and the next grant after that. So really good news. I'm pleased to announce that the Baker administration is making a $10.2 million award to Chestnut Towers, and I do so first of all because of this guy here and the mayor, and I want to be very clear about this. I'm a former city manager, as many of you know, and I have so much respect for people who are on the local level doing it. I'm not crazy enough to have ever run for mayor, but I very much respect the office. And for those who don't get the joke, Lyndon Baines Johnson, former president of the United States, at one time in a down period in his tenure, said, his presidency, said, every time I think about how bad things are, I think about it could be worse, I could be a mayor. Yeah. So you do it on the local level, you live and breathe everything that happens on your local streets, and you said to me that Chestnut Towers was a place that you wanted to see a major investment happen. And I felt the passion that you had for it. I felt the vision that you had for it. I took that passion and vision back to the governor, and the governor said, that's funny. That's what Dom said to me too. So both the governor and I have heard how much you believe in this project, in the management that has come forward to have Chestnut Towers' best days be ahead of us. And the governor, the lieutenant governor, backed by the legislature that has given us the money, has said, yes, we want to make a $10 million award here in Springfield for this project. I believe that this is the largest award that we are making today.
How do you like that, Jeff?
So let me I just want to confirm that for everybody who's, I know that there are people around the table who actually like to get their facts right, so.
My housing director, Jerry McCafferty, yeah.
So this is the largest award that we're making throughout the Commonwealth today. So overall, we're making a announcement of 19 awards today, and it's for projects medium-sized to big throughout the Commonwealth. I say medium-sized to big because we've pulled out the smaller projects and put them into their own round because it would be unfair for a project of 10 or 20 to compete with 489. So mid-sized to large projects, part of Governor Baker's agenda to promote affordability throughout the Commonwealth. The great news about what is happening here in Massachusetts is that the economy is humming, and we see many good things happen. And again, Mayor, I come back to what's happening here in Springfield, and it seems like every month we're talking about another major announcement in your downtown. I will tell you that we're going to be back shortly with some other good news. So, having said that, the economy is booming. There are good things happening, but we know that there are people who are still looking for assistance in order to plan for their own personal prosperity. And housing, providing affordable housing over one's head, quality affordable housing, is the basis for everything else that happens in somebody's life. I know that personally because I grew up in affordable housing. I'm a product of people like you, people who had my position, and developers who cared enough to make an investment in affordable housing. I'm a product of that, and that allowed me to then be able to focus on education and focus on other things, and someday grow up to be a secretary and now give out hundreds of millions of dollars around the state to support affordable housing. So this award is made because we believe in Springfield, we believe in affordable housing, and most importantly, we believe in people. And the people of Springfield, the people throughout the Commonwealth deserve what we're going to be able to provide. The legislature, talking about bipartisanship, democratically controlled legislature, approved a $1.8 billion proposal just recently that the governor had filed to promote affordable housing throughout the state. So this type of ceremony and these types of awards will be guaranteed for the next 5 years as well. Republican governor, Democratic legislature working together to solve affordable housing, to promote life sciences, to create an economic development bill that is literally being debated right now in the Senate. So there's plenty of reason to believe that good days are ahead of us, and the governor and I salute people like Mayor Sarno, who are on the front lines, making a difference, have a great vision. And what we say, Mayor, and you live it every day, is you plan the work, and then you work the plan. And that's what's happening here in Springfield. We're happy to be a small part of it. We congratulate Related Bill for the commitment that you're making to Springfield. The commitment, Related Bill has a great reputation around the country. In fact, yesterday I was not able to attend another celebration that Related Bill had in the eastern part of the state, creating a new affordable housing project. I was very impressed after I had the conversation with the mayor about how important Chestnut Tower was to what was going to happen in the reemergence of downtown Springfield. I was pleased to be able to talk to several Related Bill officials about their role in making sure that this building contributed to everything else positive that was happening in the community. And frankly, it was those discussions that motivated me to go back to my staff and talk about making sure that this project got approved. I very much believe in the vision that you have. Like the mayor, I'm going to be watching every step of the way. And I know that you're going to be true to your word, and that we are going to be very proud of what this $10 million, and more importantly, what your management, what your leadership here in Springfield produces. So thank you for your commitment on behalf of the city of Springfield, but also on behalf of the state, for everything that you're doing around the Commonwealth. And we look forward to many successful partnerships with you, including this one right here in Springfield.
Mr. Brodsky, thank you. We'd love to have you say a few words. And again, Jay, as Mr. Secretary Ash mentioned, it's been a public-private partnership. With this, we've been able to leverage this to get Pinchin Plaza is going to be done, and make a connection to the Dr. Seuss. Yeah, which Secretary Ash is very good on that one. The Dr. Seuss, where the state, our delegation, Governor Baker, helping out affordable housing, good, clean, affordable housing, safe, workforce housing, Pinchin Plaza, connect to the Dr. Seuss Museum, the police with Captain Huffnagel, the rest of their crew, Lieutenant Beliveau here. It's all a part, a recipe, as you said, we're putting the recipe together, making the sauce. Everything's in there, smells good, it's gonna even taste better. And we wanna thank you and your establishment for your belief and investment in the city of Springfield. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary and Mr. Mayor. The reality is there's a lot of work to do. As was alluded to, there's commitments that everyone is making to do our absolute best. I'd like to spend just a couple of minutes to give people a sense of what we would like to see and expect to see happen. For context, obviously, as soon as we came to control the Chestnut Park asset, we realized as the mayor had said, we are literally adjacent to the Mass Mutual Center and the Springfield Museums and Pinchin Plaza. And so as these blue are the assets, there are the 489 units in 4 different buildings. They are literally at the keystone to the the intersection between the downtown financial district and restaurants and the cultural center and the MGM as an employment center. It is clearly something that required an interaction with the community, not just a renovation of a series of buildings. And so, though we are extremely proud of what we will be investing in the physical assets, which are far beyond their useful life, and we recognize the patience that the city in particular has had with the long-term need to be investing in these assets, we also recognize that it is actually an intersection that has a greater potential good. The 489 units don't just become part of the fabric of a community. That's up to people. I want to thank the mayor's staff of all kinds. Kevin Kennedy couldn't be here, and the planning department, the public, your parks department leadership, all of whom have had conversations with us, have been terrific partners with us, and we've tried to be accretive to and leverage that which the mayor has already put in place as the vision for downtown. There are also individuals outside of the administration I want to thank. I want to thank Kay Simpson, who's been an incredible partner for the museums and who's driving as a neighbor, as a friend, as a partner. Thank you, Kay. She will have a role with us. We hope to help to curate the park after it is engaged. She's been a partner and will help us to create some of our retail space into a neighborhood cultural space. So we are thrilled to have people like Kay to work with. I want to thank Laura Masulis, who's Mass Development, Transformative Development Fellow, and as a state's representative here has been an incredible resource for us to meet the right people, to know who to talk to help us with our retail envisioning. Laura has been fantastic. From Bulkley Richardson, everybody knows Melinda, so I can't not mention Melinda. And that goes without saying. I do believe that what we're trying to do is to literally put some oars to the same directional goals that have been put in place for a number of years and do our part to bring that vision forward. As far as the actual renovation is concerned, I think there are two ways to look at this. First, from a physical standpoint, we're going to spend $45 million in renovation costs to the physical building. That will include amenity spaces, which for those of you who remember the 1970s when this was built, and those who will be part of our tour, the tower building, the large tower, had a single significant amenity, which was a pool.
A pool, yeah.
Aside from that, it's a lobby. Let's just say the building really needs a lot of attention. Okay. So this is what was there. That is what is currently the case. We are planning on creating an amenities platform on that space, which is almost 4,000 square feet. Starting with the lobby, we will move our resident services and our management office into the space. We're going to end up with a very large resident lounge and kitchen. There'll be a computer center. We will have a training center where we will hope to deliver workforce development opportunities, a centralized laundry, which is something the residents have asked us for, a fitness center, which has never been in the building, and a child's play area to make sure that people can take advantage of the amenities as an aggregation. We're also converting the forward-facing, chestnut-facing retail space to literally to Kay and others in the nonprofit cultural space who we hope will be engaging things like children's dance or art or other classes that will be neighborhood cultural event programming, which will be instead of what is currently a convenience store. Yeah. And I have a personal problem with convenience stores. We actually have two of them in our complex. One is out and another one, well, we'll speak to another time. But I think it's actually accretive to the social fabric of the community to not be selling beer and cigarettes and chips and lottery tickets, and instead to try to produce something that will have maybe some fresh produce or is a little bit more accretive to the streetscape and the social fabric of knitting people together. The mayor is doing all he is with the police department. I want to thank them for literally being local neighbors. So we want to do our part by placing retailers who are local community retailers that will be open in the appropriate hours and delivering the kinds of services that are accretive to a quality of life. And so those issues are all part and parcel of the conversation. As far as the streetscape is concerned, the cost of the renovation will include literally tearing down every piece of the window structure and facade on these buildings. They will look a lot different. They will not be red. when you're finished. We will try to descale what are four distinct buildings and try to identify them as their own individual assets. And obviously, we'll be dealing with the retail streetscape and have had multiple conversations with the planning department on how to make the street as walkable as possible, as attractive as possible. Inside the apartments, though it is not a furnished apartment when it'll be finished, it is largely entirely renovated, new kitchens, new bathrooms, new air conditioning systems. Obviously, as the history of the building has shown, is very much an issue. We will be totally renovating all the elevators, of which there are 10. I must say that to finish, that the work is not going to come easily, and the residents are going to be very inconvenienced. And that means that there's going to be construction workers, and we'll do our best with dust. The elevators will be out of service while we take them down and renovate them. They don't just come up the next day. So we want to thank the residents for their patience in advance. This exercise will take upwards of 18 months from start to finish. And we acknowledge that this is not simple for them, but I think what has normally been our experience, and we've done this many times, is that the first time someone sees a finished unit and hears about it and they run over and look at it, they have all kinds of patience with the elevator. And so the goal is long-term viability. We're looking at a 45-year commitment for affordable housing here and workforce commitment. There will be 77 workforce units. There will be no displacement. And so this is going to be good for the current residents, it's good for the long-term residents, and I think if we do our job right, it'll be good for the nature of the neighborhood and the community at large. So thank you for your patience.